Alright, boys and girls, welcome to our fourth video lesson in Chapter 3, our very important lesson on solving exponential and logarithmic equations. Alrighty, here we go. Okay, your steps to solving exponential equations. Again, that's where our variable that we're solving for is in the exponent. And again, first thing to do is always look and be smart. There is not a rote way to do some of these. So, kind of use your head. Use your head. But our basic technique for solving an exponential equation is get the exponent by itself. So get the exponent by itself and then take the log of both sides. Solving logarithmic equations can be tougher. So again, look and be smart. But basically, if there's only one logarithm, we're going to solve for the term with the log, and then we're going to exponentiate each side. If there's more than one log, then we got to use other properties of logs and other methods to solve. Always check for extraneous solutions when you're all done. Don't forget that you can never take log of 0 or log of 1. Okay, let's try this one. Basically, we're solving for x. So we're saying 3 to what power is 243? Well, we should just know that 3 to the 5th is 243. So without a calculator, we know that x is 5. But we're going to solve this with a calc using our steps. Our first step is to say, is the exponential expressions by itself? Yes, it is. We have 3 to the x with nothing else. So we're going to take the log of both sides, and we can either take the log or the ln of both sides. It doesn't matter. So we got log 3 to the x equals log 243. Whoop. Let me erase that and be neat. Log 243. Okay, we're going to use our properties of log and bring this x down in front. So I have x log 3. X log 3 is equal to log 243. I'm going to divide both sides by log 3. Don't forget that log 3 is just a decimal, as is log 243. Whip out your calculators, and you're actually going to type in log 243 divided by log 3. You're going to get decimals if you hit enter in between, but you're going to find that when you're all done, you're going to find that x is equal to 5. Okay, in this one we have log base 10x is equal to negative 1/2. This is a logarithmic equation. We don't need to have that 10 there. Log base 10 is just a common log. So if this just said log x, we would know that that 10 would be assumed. But we have already solved for our logarithm. Notice that the logarithm is by itself. So I'm just now going to exponentiate. So I know that 10 to the 1/2 power to the negative 1/2 power is equal to x. So 10 to the negative 1/2 power is equal to x. Well, we know that 10 to the negative 1/2 is 1 over the square root of 10. I'm going to rationalize both top and bottom, multiply by root 10, and I have root 10 over 10. You can check that on your graphing calculator by typing in log, and when it opens up the parentheses, type in root 10 divided by 10, and you will see that you get an answer of negative 1/2. Okay, and this guy right here, I'm missing the equals 0, so you guys can write that in your packets. But in this one, we need to first of all solve for the logarithmic expression, so I'm going to add 1 to both sides. So I'm going to get ln e to the 2x is equal to positive 1. I'm now going to exponentiate. I know that ln means log base e, so I know that now that e to the first is equal to e to the 2x. Well, if I have the same base, I know now that 2x is equal to 1, so x would equal 1/2. All right, folks, looking at this one right here, we have an exponential equation. Again, notice that my exponential expression is already by itself. It's already been solved, so I'm quite simply going to take the log of both sides. So I have log 6 to the 5x is equal to log 3,000. I'm going to bring my 5x down in front, so I have 5x log 6 is equal to log 3,000. Okay, don't forget now that log 6 is just a decimal. It's approximately 0.778. And log 3000 is also a decimal. It is approximately, I'm doing this on my calc right now, 3.477. But you could change those to decimals if you want, but you don't need to. We're quite simply now going to just divide both sides of my equation by 5. That's going to get rid of my 5's. And by log 6. That's going to get rid of my log 6. So I'm going to multiply or divide this by 5 times log 6. So on your calculator now, x is going to equal log 3000 divided by, in parentheses, 5 times log 6. Okay, whip out your calculators right now. Punch that in. I'm doing it myself. I can talk and punch at the same time. X is equal to 0.893, let's call it 0.894. Okay, let's do another one. This is fun. Alright, on this guy right here, it's an exponential equation. Notice that the exponential part is not by itself right now, so I'm going to add 14 to both sides. So I get 3e to the x is equal to 25. I'm going to divide both sides by 3. So I get e to the x is equal to 25 thirds. Now, whenever you have an exponential equation involving an e, you can take the log of both sides, but it's going to be much easier to take the ln of both sides. So I'm going to ln both sides. I'll do that up here, and I'll do it in blue. So I have ln e to the x is equal to ln 25 thirds. I'm going to bring my x down in front. So I have x times ln e is equal to ln 25 thirds. Now remember, ln e, e to what power is e? It's the first power, so ln e is just 1. So I have x is equal to ln, in parentheses, 25 thirds. Go ahead and do that one on your calc. I'm doing it myself. You should get x is approximately equal to 2.120. Okay, let's look at this guy right here. This one is an exponential equation. As we can see, we have, once again, an x, our variable, in the exponent. However, this time we have two terms with an x in the exponent, so therefore we need to do this one differently. This one we're going to factor. Like, for example, I'm going to write this. So I'm going to write this in blue. I'm going to have, if this were x squared minus 5x plus 6, I would factor that as x minus 3. X minus 2 is equal to 0. That's equal to 0. So now I'm going to get x equals 3 or x equals 2. Now we know that we don't have x squared. We have e to the 2x. So I'm going to factor this guy as e to the x minus 3 times e to the x minus 2 is equal to 0. So now I know that e to the x is equal to 3, or e to the x is equal to 2. Let's switch to red. So we're going to ln both sides. I'll do it all 4 here. So now I have, bring the x down in front, I have x ln e is equal to ln 3. Well, we know that ln e is just 1, so that goes away. X is equal to ln 3, which of course is, let me whip out my calc here, 3. That would be 1.09. I'll just write that up here so we can see it, 1.099. And I'm going to do the same thing on this, bring this x down in front, so I have x ln e is equal to ln 2. Well, ln e is 1, so x equals ln 2, and ln 2 is 0.693. So there are our answers. Okay, let's look at this guy real quick. This guy is very similar to the one that we just did, but the factoring is just going to be a little bit different. You guys take a quick second and go ahead and factor this guy, and then I'll help you with the rest. Go ahead and write that down. I'll give you about 5 seconds here. 1, 2, 3. I'll make my houses while I'm waiting. Okay, you should have had e to the x minus 6 and e to the x plus 1. Both of those are equal to 0, so therefore we know e to the x is equal to 6 and e to the x is equal to 1. Okay, so once again here I'm going to ln both sides, and we'll switch to green. And I'll draw a little squiggle and do each one separate. So I'm going to ln both sides. Bring the x down in front. So I have x ln e is equal to ln 6. ln e, of course, we know is just 1, so that guy goes away. And I'm going to have x is equal to ln 6. Well, ln 6 is, doing my math here on the calc, 1.792. Okay, so on this side I'm going to ln both sides, and this should be a -1. I'm doing this in blue now. I forgot to bring down that -1. So this is -1, so I'm going to ln both sides. So I have ln e to the x is equal to ln -1. Bring the x down in front. I'm going to get x ln e is equal to ln -1. Well, we know that ln e is just 1, so x times 1 is x. X is equal to ln -1, and guess what? ln -1 does not exist. If you tried it on the calc, you get error. Okay, so this side goes away. That side is just junk. So the only answer to this is 1.792. Okay, in this one, ln x is equal to -2. Our ln is already solved for, so let's exponentiate. So remember, ln is base e, so we now know that e to the -2 is equal to x. Whip out your calculators. ln, oh, I had pressed the wrong button. ln, I'm doing that wrong, sorry. Second ln, if you want to go right to e to the -2 is, we should get 0.135. Hopefully you're getting these on your calculator. If you're not, please make sure you're coming to see me. Well, one more here. Okay, I got 3 plus 2 ln x is equal to 10. Notice that my logarithmic expression is not solved for yet, so I'm going to start by subtracting 3 from both sides. So I have 2 ln x is equal to 7. I'm going to divide both sides by 2. So I have ln x is equal to 7/2. I'm going to exponentiate e to the 7/2 power is equal to x. Again, if you hit your second ln button right now on your calc, you're going to get an e to the x. So second ln, I get e to the blank. I'm going to type in there 7/2. Hit enter, and I should find that x is equal to 33.115. All right. We'll see you soon. Have a great day. Bye.